things like what is your background. So in the meantime, while I will be letting everybody in, I would love you to just answer any of these questions. Where is, again, where in the world you are joining us from? What is your background? Because I know most of you, like 99% of you, are educators. And also, I know some of you, because I worked with some of you and I've seen you around, but not everybody who I can hear I've seen before. Maybe I've just seen your names, but not really your faces. So it would be really nice if you could let us know a little bit more about yourself. And also, because the topic of today is goal setting, and not just of today, but for the 3 days to come, I would love to know what your experience is with setting goals and actively working towards accomplishing them. So if you can just let me know in the chat box. And for the greatest part of this workshop, we will be communicating through the chat box. And then maybe toward the end, I will let you speak as well, so you will unmute yourselves. But for the smooth running of this workshop, it will be mainly going on in the chat. Thank you so much for telling me this. So I can see already just trying to earn a living from David. Lisa is saying from Colorado, online tutor and voiceover artist. Brilliant. Maria from Romania, economic background. Prakash is from Nepal and an online course developer and English and Nepali teacher. Sylvia is from Dubai. Alison here, great. I can see people from different parts of the world. So it must be for some of you morning, for others afternoon, and for many of you evening. Probably in Europe, it's 4 p.m. for me. I'm in London right now. Yes, I can see Malin is saying from Switzerland and Swaziland. And she's saying goal setting is a disaster for me. Thank you so much for your honesty, Marlene. I do hope you will have a different comment when you leave this workshop. Otherwise, it will be funny, but it's great that you are so honest and this is your experience with goal setting, which is fair enough. Okay. I can see many teachers of English, yes, and Spanish as a foreign language. Some people having background in marketing, some people not. Okay, I'm just admitting people in still. And let me just find my team so that they can be helping me with this, so that they can be admitting people in. And everybody else who is just joining, please, if you can just answer any of these questions, where you are calling from, your background, and what is your experience with goal setting. Okay. So, and once our team members are here, then I don't have to be doing these technicalities. So anybody, you can share again where you are calling from and what is your experience with goal setting. Great. I can hear, I can see some people who are saying they can't get in, so I'm not quite sure why, because many of you are here already, so it should be easy. At least I hope so. Okay, great. Nice. So I can see already more people again joining, over 60 people. This is so good. So good. So the questions again, what is your experience with goal setting? So if anybody hasn't written it just yet, please do so now if you can. And I'm still reading the comments from different people. Una is saying, I can get distracted and need to keep on track. Yeah, that is happening to many people. So I appreciate that. Okay, and Joanne is saying not great at goal setting. Great, I can see many more comments from you. Good, yes, great. So Clarice, if you're already here, can you just do the admitting of people, please? I just made you a co-host. That would be really, really helpful. Great. So let me just share my screen with you again. For those of you who have just joined, just to know what we are doing here for these next 2 hours today. And as most of you already know, the topic for these 3 days is actually goal setting. And that's what we are going to do here. So thank you so much for everybody who just shared what is your experience with goal setting. It's very important that I know that, because I'm going to take that into consideration when I will be explaining different things. Great. So just 1 second, I'm just double checking with one of our team members if they are already here so that they can take it over, because I thought they were here and they are still not here. Did you get any messages from anyone else that you couldn't get in, or any of your friends couldn't get in? Because some of our team members cannot get in.
I'm here.
No, but Clarice cannot get in. Can you just share the link with her, James?
Okay.
And please, if you can just tell her to help me with adding people.
Yeah,
so
I'm
that
doing that. I'm doing that.
you're doing that.
Yeah, you can
Fantastic.
go ahead, please.
Thank you so much. Yeah, great. So now we are good here. Just to, some of you probably don't know me just yet, and I want to tell you a little bit about myself so that you know why am I going to actually speak about goal setting. So like why this topic is so close to my heart, really. And one of the, actually one of the reasons why I would love to speak about goal setting is because goal setting did a lot of good things in my life. And as you can see from here, I started as an ESL teacher. So I was teaching English as a second language in different countries to people of different languages, of different levels, ages, nationalities. And after that, I ventured into niche teaching entrepreneurship. So I became a teacher entrepreneur and I was looking for my own students online. And today I'm working as a growth coach and mindset coach for educators. So this is just in a nutshell. But things like, for example, when I was an English teacher, and many of you probably will resonate with what I will be saying right now, I was not working in the best possible conditions. So I was earning 12.50 per hour working in London, which was really just barely enough to pay for my rent. And from this 12.50 per hour, through different methods that I will be sharing with you later, I got to charging $100 per hour. And that was through goal setting. Another, when I was before working in a physical language school, I really wanted to travel and work at the same time and see my family more often, not just once or twice a year. And I managed to come to the stage when actually from having to be in one place and teaching English in one place to working from all around the world and being a digital nomad. And that was as well through goal setting. Or another thing that really happened to me, and I was not very surprised about it, how fast it was. When I was teaching English before, as a general English teacher, I got a lot of students who were not very happy that I was a non-native English teacher. So when they came from different countries to London to the language school, they were disappointed that somebody who is a non-native English teacher is going to teach English to them. So some of them even wanted to switch teachers or ask like, why do I need to work with Steffi? And that was really not not helping with my confidence, as you can imagine. And then I got to the stage actually as a teacher entrepreneur later, where students or clients, I would call them clients, actually wanted to work with me just because I was a non-native English teacher, because apparently what they were saying to me, I helped them build a different relationship with their accent, and they started seeing accent as a beautiful story of their life because it tells a story about them, and that I focus more on clarity, not on the fact that I was a native English speaker. So all of this from 1250 to 100, being in a physical school to working from anywhere from around the world, or being discriminated against as a non-native English speaker to really being respected and wanted as a non-native English teacher actually happened through goal setting, all of that. And that's why the topic is so close to my heart. And I really was so excited when I was preparing for this topic to share with you a few things, because I'm sure many of you want either similar things or maybe completely different, but something where you feel like this is impossible for me right now. And you would love to see it as something possible, as something that you would love to achieve. Maybe you would love to work and travel from around the world, or maybe you want to be just charging more, or maybe you just would want to spend more family with you, more time with your family, or maybe if there is something else you want to make even more impact and be more respected. So that's why this topic is very close again to my heart. And because I felt like, okay, if I was able to achieve this, I would love to share it with so many more people. And this is how I became a growth coach and mindset coach for educators. And I felt like through this kind of channel or role, I will have bigger space to share this with all the other educators. So not just with my colleagues at that time, but with more people. And right now we have 100 people here. So this is like amazing. I'm so happy to see that. Um, Good. That was enough about me. Now I'm really curious to see from you and hear from you what motivated you to join this workshop. We will share the agenda in a minute, but this is very, very important to me. In your own words, I don't want you to write anything that is filtered, anything that like Steffi would like to see this. No, what motivated you? And be as honest as you can, because the clearer and the more honest you are, the better answers you will get to your questions. And also I will be able to adapt everything I will be doing to you. Great, and I can see many more people joining, which is amazing. And thank you so much for telling me where you are from, joining from, and what is your background. So to move forward in life, ready to upscale and upskill, shifting to working for myself, I believe goal setting is extremely effective, right? Um, I want to have a breakthrough in my business and finally earn what I'm worth. I love reading this, Katya. Um, Maria is saying, refresh my mindset, and you as an amazing expert at mindset coaching. um, that is great, Maria. Nice to have you here. Lisa, I joined a different workshop from Voice Strategies last month and saw the value and knew I had to join this one as I know that you will offer so much value. I think goal setting is effective and need motivation. I'm really happy what you're saying, Lisa, and thank you so much. When we were actually speaking with my team about this topic, we thought is not enough, like attractive enough, the topic, right? Like goal setting. It's more attractive to come to a workshop which is about passive income or, the money kind of workshop. It sounds better. But actually, through goal setting, everything else you will want can be achieved. I'm going to show you how we are going to work on it. But goal setting for me is like the foundation for everything. When you know what you truly want from the bottom of your heart, it's going to be easier for you to take any action towards that direction. And many people, others are saying to have focus and get things done. Yes, upgrade. I can hear again, upgrade. I need congruence with my mission. That's from Eddie. This is new field in my life, so I need to know more information about it. Great, Maria. Um, I want to achieve much better results with my online business, and I feel need to be better at setting goals and being accountable. This is a great point, Derek. Great. Joanne is saying working on developing laser focus, goal setting, as well as daily habits, fundamental. There is room for improvement. Always, Joanne. And actually, we will speak about these goals because the main purpose of goal setting is to make us grow, but we are going to touch on it. Yes, Alena is saying, find a laser focus on my priorities. This is so cool, Alena. Dolly, I want to become productive, use time more effectively. David, I would appreciate the structured guidance to setting big goals and most of all, having an action plan to achieve them. Great, 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 great motivation, David. Um, Sharon, I'm stagnant, living in a bubble, and need to change my mindset and make the most of every day. Wow, this is so truly valuable. Simone, I started with you a year ago and my mindset has experienced leaps and bounds. Simone is simply amazing. So she's been around for some time now and learning a lot about mindset. And she could very easily be here and teach anything about about anything about mindset because she's been really implementing everything so well. Great. So many more people mentioning your motivations. I'm so happy to hear this. You can keep commenting more. I will be reading that as I go. Now I would like to move because I can see like your motivations are to some extent similar, not the same really, but similar. And now I would like to show you what you actually will get by the end of this workshop. Of course, what I'm going to be doing here is just planting some seeds, and whatever you need, you will take it. So you don't need to absorb everything I'm saying. You just take whatever you need at this point of your life, at this stage of your life, because some of you are probably already very good with goal setting. You already have your goals. You maybe just need some action plan. Some of you maybe have no idea if your goal is even coming from your heart. And some people maybe know all of that, but they don't know who you need to become to achieve that goal. So depending at what stage you are, you will take whatever you need to take. But what I prepared here, or what ideally you should get at the end of the workshop, if you are ready, is to understand how to create purpose-aligned goals. That will be the topic for today, actually, mainly, because many goals are ego-based, but when the goal is not purpose-based or purpose-aligned, it's going to be hard to achieve it. Then connect with your desires and core values that truly matter to you. And this is very important because if you have a goal that is not really kind of aligned with your values and core values and desires, it will be hard for your goal to be accomplished. Then you will identify 1 to 3 specific goals to work on this year in 2024. That's what we will do. You will know the steps to achieve your goals. You will be more in love with what you do as an educator. So that's what I wish for everybody to be or to have. You will double check if you even want to be in this profession, which is equally important because I did have a few educators who were saying, I'm not even sure if I want to be in education, considering the current status quo or conditions of the educational system. So we will consider that as well. You will probably get your answer. And most importantly, you will get focus, confidence, and clarity on your path as an educator if you decide that, yes, this is the profession I want to stay in. So these are the things you will get at the end of the workshop, but of course you can get much more. And whatever you will need, you will take from this workshop. Although this workshop is free workshop, but what I always love to do myself, whenever I invest anything, I like to ask myself, how can I get let's say you invest 2 hours of your time, how can I get 10 times more of what I invested? So maybe, I don't know, 10 times more hours of you doing something that you really truly enjoy, or maybe even how can you multiply your income or find some solutions? So always asking, what can I get from here to move me forward? I like to ask that question a lot. Now, the agenda for this workshop is simple like this: workshop overview and logistics that actually we already started. I will just mention 2 more things there. And then the main part will be actually, I will be showing with you purpose-aligned roadmap to worthy goals. So we are going to be doing the goals tomorrow, but we are going to find out today even if they are around your purpose. What is your purpose or what is important to you? We will do some exercises today. So you will need pen and paper. For those exercises, there will be some kind of reflection. And then I will invite our Bowie team at the end to share their mindset journey and their tips on goal setting for educators. And we will have Q&A, although I like when people ask questions as we go, but of course, there will be dedicated space at the end for you to ask questions. So about the workshop overview and logistics, just very clear so that you know what you get every day from here. Today, the main thing will be for you to understand why goals are important and what are the right types of goals. And if they are aligned with your true core values and your purpose, that will be the topic for today. For tomorrow, you will actually, in goal creation process, set 1 to 3 goals. That will be tomorrow. You will have ready 1 to 3 goals that you can act on. That will be tomorrow. And on Thursday, on the third day, you will know the action plan that you need to take to achieve those goals. That is my plan. That is my plan for you for these 3 days in this workshop. And the times we already know, it's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Every day. You use the same Zoom link, and I hope it will work for everyone. And you will get the recordings after each day's session. right? If you need to rewatch something, you will get that. And just one thing I wanted to show you, to share with you actually, we will have show up bonuses. So just because you are here and you will stay here till the end, you will not only get the recording, which everybody will get, but you will get day one presentation slides. And on top of that, there is a guide I created to building a purpose-aligned career where you can always come back to it if you feel like you missed something and it's not clear, because I will mention a few steps, but you will have them nicely summarized in one place. So that will be the bonus for you if you stay till the end. And one thing as well, we like to give prizes. So I will ask a question at the end, towards the end, from this workshop. Something that I will be explaining, I will ask a question. It will be a simple question, but you will need to pay attention to know the answer. And the one who will answer in the chat box the fastest will win a 30-minute feedback session with me. And that session will be to help you implement everything customized to your situation. So whatever you will learn over these 3 days, I will help you customize it as much that you will be super ready to implement everything. So that is the day one prize. And I hope you are happy about this. This is something that you will know at the end. Who is the winner? Who will stay till the end and will know the answer. Great. So let's start now. Who is ready to start? I want to see either thumbs up. Marlene is like, yes. Yes, and I can see as well, Sadi and everybody else, yeah, thumbs up. You can just write, yes, I'm ready. And I can see people saying yes. Great. Now, question, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? Write it in the chat box. What do you think is your purpose? There is not right or wrong answer, but what is your purpose? To help others, from Alison. To change my mindset. To help people. To enjoy life. To help myself. To help reconnect to nature. To make English lessons accessible to everyone. Jade is saying empower, encourage, entertain, engage, and empathize with every student. Wow. Magdalene, to change people's lives. Beautiful. Direct, to help people do their jobs with better English. Katia, to teach English to people who need it. Larissa, to make a new business. Kenny, to create digital courses. Andrea, to help others and make a positive impact on their life. Marcy, make my job more purposeful. Create digital courses, from Kenny. Offering hope to people motivated to improve their spoken English, to chase their dreams and change their lives. To empower women to speak up and be confident in themselves, from Carly. Beautiful Carly. Elmarie, to help others. Bash, to make a difference in people's lives. Wow, guys, you're so much clear what your purpose is. I'm just surprised with these answers. I was hoping at least for one. I have no idea. But it seems like everybody knows it very clearly. Prakash, to maximize my potentiality. Lisa, to help people attain their goals, which will help me attain my goals. To serve others, from Ruben. Great. To develop myself and my students. Okay. To empower professionals to use English as a tool for empowerment and growth. So I can see a lot of great examples here from many of you. I cannot see. Okay, great. Gemma said, I have no idea. Thank God, Gemma. There is one person who said, I have no idea what my purpose is. You saved my day right now. No, I'm just joking for everybody else. Those of you who are clear on your purpose, I just want to take a few seconds now and just congratulate you and just be happy with you. Honestly, be very happy with you. And maybe even ask you, how did you find out that this is your purpose? I'm really curious now. How did you know that helping others is your purpose, or that empowering women to speak up is your purpose? If you can even write it down now, that would be great. Yes, and I can see more people saying even to be determined alignment. You know what is interesting? Many of you are mentioning different types of, so it's not everybody is mentioning purpose, which is just aligned to your career. And that is very, very interesting. And it's so true because what we sometimes try to do is try to careerize purpose. It means just related to our career, whereas purpose doesn't always have to be just related to our career. As some people said, even like just to enjoy. That's my purpose, to enjoy life, which is fair enough. So, Ilse, because you asked Steffi, okay, but how did you know that this is your purpose? Is the evidence of my life from Virginia? Okay, it makes me happy. Okay, it makes you happy. Mm-hmm. Because that is what I'm good at, from Antonia. That is interesting. Joanne is saying long line of teachers in my family. So I guess it's something that you figured out because of that. Andrea is saying, I just feel happy when I help someone. Mm-hmm. Mary, the satisfaction and joy that comes with empowering others. Wow, this is so cool. Elmarie, it is very satisfying to help and see someone else's reach goals. Yep. Henriette, altruism in my character value. I'm happy you mentioned value as well. Sadi, my purpose is to make the world a happier place. That's a beautiful one. I think everybody could do with being even happier than we are. Dale, because of my experience in my life. And Alena is saying, I feel I'm good at it and I enjoy doing it. This is so good. It was a long journey to discover my purpose from Kali, but my own personal life story and the challenges I've overcome have given me a holistic perspective to help other women going through the same thing. This is very good, Kali, because it makes me happy. Okay, so this is so good. And I'm happy you're saying that. So this question was quite challenging me a few years ago because I thought I needed to know my purpose here and now and straight, like the full purpose, like why am I here? Why I'm doing what I'm doing? Like what is my purpose? And this question started to be really stressful for me. And I was trying to find out how can I go around it if I don't know exactly, is this my purpose? But how can I still achieve great things and maybe slowly find out what my purpose is if I'm not 100% sure right now? And what happened then in my life? A few things. But what I want to ask you now is who is she? Who is this person that you can see on the screen? Funny enough, I'm going to explain purpose and goal setting and goal achieving through this person which is on the screen. But I would love you to tell me if you know who this person is. If anybody knows, this is not a, yeah, so if anybody knows who this person is on the screen. No idea. Um, okay. Anybody knows who this person is? A relative of yours? No, 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 Jeanette, no, not really. It's from Florence, not really from Florence, but I will tell you where this project is. Someone famous. I think she's quite famous, but I wouldn't. Oh, wow, okay, Madame Curie, no, no, no. Mary Curie, no, but she's very similar. She looks similar. Okay, I will tell you, no, Julia Roberts, not sure. She looks similar. A psychologist, probably she used a lot of psychological things, but she's not a psychologist. And somebody like that. Czechoslovakian woman. Okay. Because the way she's dressed, right? I would think the same Alena. No, she's not from the Czech Republic. Maria Montessori, not really, but she's amazing. No, oh wow, many people say Maria Montessori. No, no, no. Okay, interesting, but you have very good guesses. Oh my goodness, Katia, a suffragette. What was her name? Yes, Katia is right. And it's not Anne Frank. Katia, do you know the name? I mean, not that it's the most important thing to know the name, but I'm quite surprised and impressed that you guessed it. Um, yes, so let me just reveal to you who is this person and why am I using her to explain purpose? Yes, Joanne. Joanne is Emily Pankhurst. Exactly. It's Emily Pankhurst. So it's a leader of the suffragette movement, which advocated for women's right to vote. Okay, great. Now, another question I have for you. Now we know who this person is, but what can you see in this picture? If you can just describe to me, what can you see in this picture? There is no right or wrong answer. I just, what can you see? Everybody can say different things, but maybe somebody sees something different from everybody else? What can you see in the picture? A confident, determined woman. Okay, Alison is saying, I don't see a picture. I think if you're from your phone, maybe you need to swipe to the next page to see the picture, but everybody else, I guess, sees the picture. She looks tired, probably after so much work she's done. And, yes, she probably is feeling tired in this picture. She's a purpose-driven, okay, strong gaze of determination, intense and determined gaze, serious, unafraid, strong, purposeful, confident person. You are all right. Yes, you're all right. But there is something else. I'm not quite sure. Priyanka, there are many other pictures who make up her portrait. How did you know? Yes, yes. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because I saw this for the first time in the Manchester Art Gallery. That's where I was living before. And I saw it as a this. So when I was walking, it was like 100 meters away, and I saw this big picture. I don't know who she was, but it was just interesting. I was coming closer, and the picture wasn't as clear. And then this is what I saw. Many other women, many other pictures, small pictures of other women. And the project is done by Charlotte Newson, and it's women like you. So these are the leaders of the suffragette movement. And now, why am I sharing this? Okay, let's just go to the point right now. So now you can see this is, I even call it, there is a word for it, like collage. Like collage, I don't know if it's exactly collage, but yes, it's like small pictures as part of one picture. Now, and this is even like closer so that you can see there are really individual women. Like now you can see them very clearly when you really, really zoom in. And do you think they knew their purpose? Like they knew, like they woke up and they knew this is my purpose. Like I'm going to help advance women's right in this world. This is my purpose. I'm not quite sure. Some of them maybe knew, like this is my purpose. And I do believe many of them didn't know exactly, like they are going to do something that big, that they are going to help or empower other women to vote by changing the system. But one thing I kind of know for sure, by the looks of it, that these women desired to obtain more rights, and each was driven by individual reasons. Each of them had different reasons why they wanted those rights. I'm sure they didn't have the same kind of reasons and desires why they wanted more rights, but all those reasons they had were important to each one of them. Okay, and why am I saying this? So this is very similar with our goal setting. Now, again, the purpose in general, maybe of Emmeline Pankhurst, was to advance women's rights. And then she somehow put all these women together who had these desires and they were reflecting this purpose. But now each woman took some kind of actions to turn her desires into tangible reality through goal setting. Although they may not be calling it that way, but this is what they did. And this was aligned with their bigger purpose of advancing women's rights. And now it's the same thing with us, okay? And that's what I was thinking about. That sometimes maybe you don't know exactly clearly what my purpose is, or like this is definitely my purpose, but we know things that are important to us. And all of these things that are important to us are like our desires, right? The things that we truly want from the bottom of our heart. Like, for example, be a digital nomad, travel and work at the same time from different countries, or maybe charge 3 times more to what I'm charging right now, or just be more respected as a non-native English teacher, or maybe just have more impact on students' life by actually deciding what curriculum you are going to teach them. You have different desires. And the way we turn these desires into reality is by goal setting, meaning this goal setting gives it some focus as we can turn, because we have many desires. So we cannot turn all these desires into reality at the same time. But the way we do it is when we take some action. Maybe we do have some wants and desires that we don't need to do any goal setting about them and then they come true. But many things, if we want to bring them to the tangible, materialistic world, and they are the very important things we really want, it happens through goal setting. So again, just to summarize, each individual has a unique purpose. And whatever shape that is, I just show you this picture that is made up of smaller pictures, but you know that everybody has a unique purpose, even though maybe you're not quite sure what it is exactly, and maybe it's even changing. because you don't have as much clarity now, maybe as you will have in 5 years, or maybe you have much more clarity right now than when you had 10 years ago. And I feel like your purpose is a combination of desires, things that are important to you, and there are many of them. You don't have to call them desires. There may be dreams, like wants, or the things I really want, whatever you want to call them. I call them desires, but your purpose is a combination of them. And we create worthy goals to bring our desires into tangible reality in the most focused and purposeful way. And this is like for many years, I wanted to be charging more because I never used to pay taxes before as a teacher because I never earned more than the minimum wage. I never had to pay taxes because I didn't have to, right? I didn't have enough money to even have the minimum kind of threshold, to meet the minimal threshold. And I was desiring more money, but I wasn't really giving it enough focus. It was just my desire. And I was even complaining to my colleagues in the staff room, like, I really want to have more money. Like, look, we are working 6 to 8 hours every day plus preparation time, and I'm barely paying for my rent. I can't even see my family more than once a year. And I had that desire for many years, or even just wanted to be respected as a non-native English teacher and just wanted to work in different countries without people discriminating against me and wanting me to have certain passport. So I had those desires, but not necessarily I was taking them into reality by setting goals. And then they were just pure desires, and some of them got transformed into frustration. You know, when you have desire and you don't do anything about it, you start being frustrated about it. And that's why many people, when they set goals in January or whatever, and they just have these desires, but they don't approach this goal setting in the right way, then those desires either stay as desires or they become frustration, and then you just give up on all of it. And that's how I was living my life for many years as a teacher, because I didn't understand how to turn my desires into goals and then goals into my reality that I live in. And the reason why I call them worthy goals, we can just call them goals, but worthy goals is because it's really connected to what I truly desire from the bottom of my heart. I will speak as well about the difference between ego-based goals and soul-based goals. I did have ego-based goals as well. And that's why I saw the difference, how things go easier when these goals are soul-based goals and not ego-based goals. Um, so I want to ask you right now at this point, how many of you have, for example, already decided what you desire to do this year and you're already turning it into a goal? At least have a plan, have a goal. I'm not saying it has to be accomplished, but how many of you already set a goal for this year that you have a desire, but you already set a plan or goal for that? Um, yes, so a lot of yeses. Okay, I have set a goal. A lot of people have goals. Mm-hmm. Great. And do you feel that this goal is really coming from your heart? Or how do you feel about this goal? How do you know? Yes, so people are saying, absolutely, it's coming from my heart. Janet, I have my CTAP goal for 2024. Thanks to you, Steffi. Yes, and your CT, and actually part of your CTAP goal was accomplished already, Janet. So I'm so happy. I guess this is an updated one. So I can see as well, Andrea, my goals are not clear yet. So this is very good. Tomorrow we are going to set goals together. And on Thursday, you will have clarity how to achieve, to know the next steps to achieve your goals. Because there are 4 components that we need for a goal or for a desire to become reality through goal setting. There are 4 things we need. And I will speak about those 4 things tomorrow. Without those 4 things, any goal will die or will not be accomplished. But I'm happy to see that so many people already have goals. Sadi is saying, I want to set up a social enterprise this year. Wow, and you are even specific. This is great, Sadi. Yes, Sylvia, yes, for sure, they are from my heart. Nice. It feels meaningful to set goals. Great. To embark on my online teaching journey, that's Nogwasi's goal. Great. And Roxana is saying, I have goals that already are in development. Some desires are beyond my financial reach, At the moment, I'm unsure. I will make it a reality though. If I will make it a reality though. Okay, so this is a very good point, and we will speak about this tomorrow even more, but I want to start a topic already. And also we will have a workshop on mindset, money mindset. But this is a very good point about financial, that some desires are beyond my financial reach at the moment. So I just want to connect this, what I experienced in my life as a teacher, and maybe some of you will resonate with it. So I was always of that belief that you don't need money in your life. I just want to make impact. That's how I was. I was literally refusing all the money from my life. I was saying, I just want to be happy, make impact. I want to teach English, and I want just to make people happy and be fluent in what I do. That was my kind of in my 20s, and for quite a lot of years, that's how I was. And then I ended up in such a situation where I had to have my parents to pay for a lot of my things, and I was already earning money, right? And they paid for my CELTA, even the qualification for teachers to be able to teach English as a second language to adults. Um, and many other things. If they wanted to see me, sometimes they had to pay for the flight tickets, and I felt like this is not right. So it's nice that I want to make impact, but instead of focusing on impact, I was focusing on money and just paying the bills. So I couldn't even spend more time preparing for the lesson plans, but I was focusing, how can I pay for this? And then what changed in me, and please let me know if this resonates with you, if somebody had this as well experience, is that I decided I need to be responsible for my financial situation. And once when I was flying back home, it was like 2 hour flight. I took a piece of paper, a pen, and I started writing down the things I need in my life to feel comfortable enough to serve other people, as that's what I truly want. But I don't want to be focusing on money. I want to focus on other people. And I was writing down like my ideal lifestyle, what I want, like how many coaches I want to work with, what kind of flat I would love to have. I don't know how many body treatments I would like to have in 1 week or in 1 month, what kind of clothes I would like to be wearing, food, organic food eating, or where I would like to be going out, what courses I would like to sign up for. So I was writing things down, and I came up with a figure which was 30,000. At that time, I was earning about 1,000 as a teacher, approximately. So, and then when I decided about this is the money I need for me to be comfortable to serve other people. And when I decided about this, I didn't need to affirm like I want 30,000 every single day. Just a few times I connected with it. But then all of my shift was more like I want to serve this person in front of me, because I already took once that responsibility that I solved my financial situation kind of. Like at least I knew what I wanted for me to be comfortable. And that was really, really helpful. So in your case as well, let me just see, Roxana, right? So if you just write down exactly what it is, and then connect with that part of what it is that you want, and maybe how much money you would want to have, just connect with that part and see you already having that money, and maybe seeing then from that inspiration what actions you need to take. My actions was different actions I was taking, but I became a teacher entrepreneur. I started my passive income, property investment, and different things. So to get where I wanted to get with this 30,000. But very important, this is also part of the goal setting, the financial goals. And yes, that's my, okay. Great. I can see more comments from any of you. So I don't know if, great, nice. So let's just continue in this topic. Of worthy goals, because this is the foundation we are setting for tomorrow. If we do this really well, tomorrow will be easy for you. You will connect with the right goals, and you will know the right action if you are clear about this, if this is really connected to your purpose. And one more thing I wanted to mention here is that we need to implement smart actions to accomplish our worthy goals. So one thing is we have our desire, then we set a goal, but then we need to take actions to bring that goal into reality. So it's almost like, those pictures I was showing to you of those women, is like you have an idea of what your goal is, okay? But then you will need to create that. So one thing is you have that idea, but then when you will be in that process of creating that goal and accomplishing the goal, sometimes maybe the outcome will be even better than you imagined. Maybe sometimes it will be the same or similar. And we are going to learn tomorrow and the day after tomorrow how you can be sustainable in your approach of goal accomplishment. Because I did have some goals as well myself, where actually I was not incorporating them very well into my daily life. So then it became like stress to go for that goal. But what we are going to learn together is how to create those goals in a sustainable and effective way together, okay? And one thing here is that instead of searching for your purpose, focus on what is important and what you want. So, because what is important to you and what you want is actually coming from your purpose. And this is what I developed when I was preparing for this workshop. And before that, I just want to ask you this question. So, what are you willing to trade your lifetime for? That's a really, really good question because if you are not that much clear about what you want, what will happen, the daily trivia and the things that you will be going through will just take that space and they will decide for you, for your time. You kind of will not have control. But if you decide about what goal you want, you will have the focus and you will know better what you are trading the life for, right? For that goal, which is coming from your desire and which is coming from your purpose. And this is the framework in a way I developed myself when I was thinking about it. Um, just to explain it very quickly before we jump to an exercise you're going to be doing, is that it starts with the desire. In other words, things that are important to you, which comes from your purpose anyway, which purpose meaning why you're even here, right? In this role, then the desires are turned into goals by you deciding, I'm going to focus on this desire this year, or what I want this thing this year, or this month, or whatever, this years, if it's a bigger goal. And then for you to accomplish that goal, and actually you need to use your time to do smart actions. And those smart actions we will do on day 3. What are they? But once you develop the system and take the right actions, then those goals will be kind of inevitable. It will be even impossible not to achieve them. If you establish the right systems and take the right smart actions, it will be hard not to achieve it. So that was the same case when I was coming from 1250 per hour to 100 per hour. It didn't become like from day one to day 2. I had to do a lot of things to get to 100. It took me about 16 months, 1 year and a half approximately. And I had to change a lot of my self-image, the way I thought about myself and confidence. And I had to start taking actions which I never used to do before. So one thing, what I had to do is sending connection messages to potential clients or students on different social media. Before, I was just teaching in the classroom, so this task was very new to me. Or even then follow up with them when they connected with me, or even posting on social media. So I had to develop a lot of new smart actions and develop a lot of new habits to accomplish this goal. And most importantly, I had to change the way I was seeing myself. So before I was seeing myself as somebody who is not worth charging much, charging 1250 per hour, to somebody who believed with her whole heart that I deserve to be charged more than 100 and even more, or even 100. That belief was slow, it was growing slowly. It wasn't instant. It took me 1 year and a half, but it was through this anyway, matrix, whatever you would call it, purpose aligned goals matrix. That's how I achieved most of our goals I've been through in my life. What do you think at this point about purpose aligned goals? And do you believe the one that you have right now is coming from your heart? That's number one thing. And number two, do you have enough systems and enough maybe clarity on what steps you need to take to achieve it? These are just warm-up questions for the work tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, but I would love to know the answer. So for those of you who already identified, yes, I've got my goal, it's purpose-based goals, like it's really coming from my core values and what I really want. And then on top of that, do you have enough systems and clarity on how to achieve it? And I'm going to read your comments right now. So Jeanette is saying definitely not enough systems and clarity to achieve it. What about everybody else? Do you feel you have enough clarity and systems and habits, the right habits that will help you actually achieve that goal? Okay, when I say systems, Maggie, sorry, I mean, let me just give you an example. When I became a teacher entrepreneur, so I was looking for my online students by myself, the systems was that I was sending 25 connection messages every day to them. And then I was following up with them when they responded to me. And straight away, I was updating my KPIs, which is key performance indicator or CRM, right? Client relationship management systems. And I had systems in place. So I sent a message, they responded. If they were interested, I put them in the right place or worksheet so that I could come back to them. And I had those systems, those habits developed that were supporting my new identity, my new goal. So Steffi, who is a business owner, he's a teacher entrepreneur, has systems. That's what I had to um, be clear about at the beginning, that who I need to become to achieve that goal. And then I was creating those systems and habits step by step to actually become that person and to then accomplish that goal. Henriette is saying, I have systems, but it's not organized. This is great over there. You have systems, you just need to organize them. Derek is saying, no, no systems. Sylvia, system and confidence. Okay. A few people are saying no systems. I'm clueless. Not enough clarity, habits, or systems. So no, David is saying definitely coming from my heart. And I am here mainly to get more guidance and bird's eyes for you to set up systems. So David is here to set up his systems for his business. This is great, David. So today is the foundation to even have those goals aligned with your purpose and something that is really important to you. Tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, you will have actual goals and creating the systems that will support you in accomplishing those goals. Marie, not enough systems or clarity or even habits. Yes. Una, I don't have the systems yet. Carol, my systems need work. Okay, so many people have systems, you just need to work on those systems. Clarity, yes, systems getting there, habits getting there. Finally, okay, so I have a worthy goal, but need advice on how to draw up a plan or path. This is great, Kenny. I'm going to we are going to actually cover that on day 3 on exact plan. That plan will be different for everybody. Not all of you will follow the same plan, but you will find out what a plan should be. And this is how I got to those goals I wanted to get. I developed a plan, but of course I was always able to reassess the plan. So one thing is you decide on your goal, which goal you want. And then, because the goal is so scary and so big, for me to charge 100 from charging 1250, it was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is way too much. But then I set milestones. So my first milestone was charging $50 per hour. And that was already scary enough, like 3 times more to what I was charging. But that was my first milestone. Then to get to that milestone, I had to develop different projects, right? I had to work on different projects. So one of them was my social media presence, like the marketing skills. Another project was working on my sales skills. Another one was to develop the program that actually my niche clients will be interested in. Another one was, let's say, my branding. Another one was, I don't know, creating systems in the background so that I knew who were interested people. So there were different projects I was working on to get me to the next milestone and to get me to the goal. And then when it comes to those projects, I was working on certain actions to have those projects accomplished. So there were those smart actions, and that's how I developed it. And that's what I'm going to help you do. So today we are just making sure the goal is related to your or connected to your purpose. And tomorrow we will set the goal. And on Thursday, the last day, you will know the action plan that you need to take and who you need to become for you to get that goal. Okay, great. So we are going to do some exercise now. I can see some people are saying, I sometimes have unproductive days and don't follow my system, or I feel I'm lost in discipline a little. I think I know what I should be doing, but it's difficult to stick to it. That's a very good point, Alan. I think many people can resonate with this. And Ilse, for the business, no systems, creative chaos, other areas of life well covered. And Ilse, congratulations. I guess your grandchild is already born. So in that creative chaos, I hope you are having some good family time too. Antonio, systems not in place. And a few people saying I struggle with systems or even with developing habits. Yes, and it's actually the systems and the habits that will help you get your goal. But first, we need to identify them, which will we do on day 2 and 3. Okay, some people are saying though that I have clarity, enough clarity. Yes, and Derek is just saying I do have some systems that work quite well, but I need more systems in place. Yes, great. Now, what we are going to do right now, and I will read more of those comments while you will be doing this task. I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay? A few questions, and these questions are going to help you make sure you want to be an educator, you are in the right career, and these questions are going to really warm you up for tomorrow, where you will find out and clearly define your 3 goals. So this is like the foundation for tomorrow. So I will ask you these questions. This is just a warm-up one. In your career, what do you desire and what is important to you? So I would love you to respond to this. This is just a warm-up question, and then we will have 5 really in-depth questions. That will be the whole exercise that will really open you up for tomorrow. And without this exercise, it will be a little bit harder tomorrow. So to start with, in your career now, okay, we are going to focus on your career. What do you desire and what is important to you? And I want you to be writing without thinking, okay? So whatever comes to you, it's through inspiration. So what is important to you and what do you desire in your career? If you can just write it down in the chat box. Peter, I want to enjoy my work, offer high quality service, and get paid what I deserve. And I want you, everybody, to copy this and paste for yourself somewhere in your space, okay? Because we will have these comments on our side when we download the recording, and I will be reading through those comments, but I want you as well to have those comments on your side to be for this to be a reminder for you. What do you really desire? Okay, have fun and money too. Love that, Ilse. Very light-hearted. Prakash, I want to serve and do faithful activities so that I can get in return too. Sylvia, success and fun, but also a fair income. Love that. Roxana, I desire professional and financial independence, and it's important for me to set high standards for quality services. I'll be paid very well. Antonio, to help others and get paid well. Feel successful for Marcy. Kenny, I want to be a successful digital tutor and well reimbursed for same. Great. Maggie, to make a comfortable income of 50,000 K and be able to travel. It's beautiful, Maggie. I love that. Alena, freedom to work when I want to and with whom I want to have a sustainable income. I love this word freedom and the word sustainability as well, Alena. Great. Gemma, something I enjoy and I'm passionate about. Passive income. Yes, that sounds great. Roxana, Carol, to support teachers globally and make a difference. Carly, to inspire, motivate, and empower other women to believe in themselves to have an impact on their lives. Yes, so some of you are already using some aspects and elements of your previous answer when I ask you about what is your purpose, which is really amazing because now when I ask you the question, what do you really desire? I can see that it's really related to your purpose, to what is really important to you. So it's really nice to see that connection. And Peter, we all want the same. I love that. I love that. Yes, yes, we do want very similar things. We all, yes, that's why Bowie's vision is for teaching to be associated with respect, prestige, and prosperity. And I guess most of the desires you mentioned here are reflecting these qualities or these values we have for teaching: prestige, respect, and prosperity. And of course, the word independence is repeating a lot, which I like. Ben, have a sense of purpose, feel like I'm making a significant impact, have passive income. Great, Ben, and you are on a very good way there. Pauline, I want to make a difference to students, not just improve their English skills, but also teach awareness of international cultures, awareness and tolerance. This is great. And I can see financial independence for many people. I want to be this go-to name for my niche. So Bash said that, like, I want to be the person that everybody will want to go to me because I know I'm the leader in the field, which is great. And Derek, I want to have a successful online business that provides for my family and gives us more financial freedom. It's important that I don't kill myself by working myself into the ground, and I want to have very happy clients and reach and help as many people as possible. Great. So this is nice. Nice answers. Thank you so much. Now, what I want to do, I want to continue with these 5 questions. Okay. So if you have pen and paper, it will be really nice if you can just write it for yourself. You don't need to do it now to this chat box. You will do some reflection at the end, which I want you to do in the chat box, but this one is just for yourself. And again, the better you do this exercise today, the easier job will be for you tomorrow. If you cannot attend tomorrow, even if you watch the recordings, it will be easier for you. I promise you. I promise that to you. So the questions, are you ready for the questions? Who is ready for the questions? Just say yes or raise your hands. Wait, I can see many people are ready. Good. Nice. Let's just go with question number 1. What is the one problem in the world that I feel a burning desire to solve? I will give you just my example so that maybe if it's to better understand the question. My one problem I saw was that teachers were not respected, valued enough. And I was one of them. So I experienced it on my own skin. I don't have to go to just to see examples around me, but I was experiencing it myself. And I felt so helpless. And I said, like, if I just could solve one thing in this world, if I'm meant to do something here, I want every single teacher to feel respected, prestigious, and prosperous. And that was for me a burning desire. What is it for you? We all have different ones. Okay, I will give you a few. Maybe some people need seconds, maybe up to 1 minute. You write it on your piece of paper. We will do some reflection on these questions, and they will help you for goal setting tomorrow. It's great. So if you feel like you want to write it down, that's okay as well. And I'm happy to see it actually, but I want you to have this on a paper as well so that you can come back to it tomorrow if you need to. But I can see very good examples here as poverty, hunger, young people to grow and feel worthy, lack of mutual understanding and aggression. That's of Maria. And it's really interesting. Some of you I know, and I can see how you're already working towards this problem being solved. Like for example, Maria, if I can use your case, Maria Glazunova. So because we work closely with Maria, she's helping her niche, IT professionals, to actually have better understanding and better clarity when they speak and have better relationships in the workplace. And this is exactly what you're doing already, Maria. So you're already solving that problem by being a niche teacher for that niche. Sylvia saying respect is a big one. I hate when I am treated like a nanny or just a teacher and not a pro as I believe I am. This is so strong, Sylvia. I'm so happy to see that. Actually, at some point, when somebody says to me, teacher, I felt like that was an insult. So I felt insulted that I'm like kind of like teacher. I didn't like that word for some time. So I understand what you're saying here, Sylvia. Roxana, access to quality education for disadvantaged communities, especially young women and kids. It's beautiful. Antonio, all people understand and communicate with each other well. So that's Antonio's kind of burning desire to solve. For Carrie, it's lack of empathy for self and others. Tracy, lack of human connection. Great. Marie, everyone should be able to earn a respectable and decent living. So true. Ellie, youth of today are in so much trouble with the society that they find themselves in. It's so true. As I work with young people in a school, I was working with them as emotional literacy support assistant. So I was supporting with their emotions. I was something like an assistant to educational psychologist, and I really felt for those young people, and actually it reminded me about my teenage years, how much more support I needed when I was bullied and all the other things. So definitely a very important problem to solve, Ellie. Alexandra, women empowerment. This is so good. And Alex, you're doing it so well. So you're definitely on purpose here. Alena, when people don't listen to understand, they don't know how to connect and communicate with others who come from different background. Yes, that's so true. Um, okay, and then I can see around children, and then teachers in my country should win back their respect, confidence, and courage to move on, connect, and dream high. That there is a way for a change, for a growth of quality of education and students' performance. So I don't know, Luisa, where you are from, but yes, it feels like in every country, teachers should win back their self-respect. I felt the same when I was in three countries, Spain, Slovakia, and Manchester. And I felt like when I was trying to ask for £1 more, so I was earning 12.50 per hour, and plus I had to prepare, and plus I had to do a bit of admin as well. So it was not just for an hour. And when I was asking for 13.50, which was just £1 more, they said to me, like, I will have to work for a couple more years with them, or I will have to get my Delta, which is even a more um, kind of different certificate. I would have to do it for a few years. Yes, so basically, and that was like this in three different countries. So I appreciate that, Luisa. Okay, great. So this is good. I can see many of you have really burning desires to solve. Now let's move to the second question. The second question is, and we will somehow connect it at the end, but now trust the process. What did I love to do when I was a child? I loved teaching my siblings and children from my neighborhood all sorts of things. And I was playing I'm a teacher, and they didn't like it. So they left my class usually after 10 minutes. And then I was just playing with my dolls because nobody wanted to be my student. But I loved playing. I was a teacher. What did you love? Now, reflection for you. What did I love to do when I was a child? Reading books, connecting to nature, be a doctor from Rizwana. Sylvie teaching, showing things. Luisa, okay, says she's from Romania, yeah. Um, Sylvia, same, teaching and using the wall in the garage as a blackboard. Wow, you had a blackboard. That's so posh. I didn't have that. Cool. Derek, play football and uh, and make people laugh. So this is so good, Derek, and because you still play football from as far as I know, right? And this is your kind of me time when you have time away from your work. So it's really interesting, like how you still keep it. And I think you were playing professionally as well, Derek, weren't you? And the fact that you make people laugh is that you wanted to make people laugh is so cool. Many children um, are so natural at it, right? Christina as well, playing to be teacher, student, sports, and art. Carol was reading. Antonia wanted to be a pilot. It didn't happen. Daniel, playing games with my friends outside. Lisa, reading books and playing the piano. Gemma, travel, photography, animals, and art. Wow, quite diverse, but at the same time connected in a way. Larissa, perform. Nice. Vignes, playing with my little brother. um, that is so cool. I hope you're still meeting Vignes. Maybe not playing anymore, but you have nice memories. Sylvia is saying, okay, Maria is saying baking, creating performancing for kids. Nice. Um, yes, talking to tourists. Prakash, wow. Interesting. As a child, very interesting. Mary Alice training and showing horses, taking care of them. Great. Um, Writing stories and dreaming. Okay, I want to say a few things here now. So I liked playing to be a teacher when I was a child. And also I was a psychologist. Although I didn't know the word psychology before, but I was a psychologist and my mother's friends came to our house. I was listening to them and asking them these coaching questions at the age of 10. And why is this question important? Because later, when I became a niche teacher entrepreneur and I had to decide on my niche, the things that I loved doing in the childhood and my kind of favorite things were helping me understand what my ideal um, group of students should be, what my niche should be. And that's why I was helping psychologists as an English teacher, because I loved psychology when I was a child. And even when I was a teenager, I was reading a lot of self-help books. So this is very important to answer these questions with as much honesty as possible, because they will help you really set your goals very well tomorrow. Great. The next question, what tasks do I excel at and truly enjoy, losing track of time when doing them? I'm sure it will be for everybody else something different, but when you do some tasks, okay, what tasks are they that you really truly enjoy and you're even good at them and you lose track of time, or even you forget your basic necessities like go to the bathroom or even to eat? What are these tasks? I'm curious. Gardening. Mm-hmm. Embroidery from Rizwana. Interesting. Research on nutrition and learning. Studying and discovering Chinese for Virginia. Elmarie, like people find out how they think, what do you like, what tasks do you enjoy, listen to music. So it's quite a few things, Elmarie, for you. Maria having a meaningful conversation and dancing. I know how much you love dancing, Maria, and it's a very good point here. And having a meaningful conversation that happens to me as well. Sometimes when I have workshops with our clients, with other educators, I sometimes go over, not because I need to, I just forget that the hour is over, because we have usually meaningful conversations. So I do understand these two very well. Prakash, online speaking. Wow. So online speaking makes you lose track of time. Very good. Writing for Maggie. Practicing piano for Lisa. Creating lessons to my students. These are very good signs. I hope you are writing it down for yourself as well, because it will help you tomorrow a lot. Larissa, Instagram. Okay. I guess things on Instagram. Ilza, planning my travels. Yeah, and you do travel a lot, Ilza. You have like 4 or 5 travels a year at least, from what I know. Christina, self-development and chatting. So Christina, I share the same as you, self-development. I sometimes, even preparation for this workshop, I've read a lot of books and I was meeting a lot of coaches in these past few weeks. And I literally sometimes forgot to have lunch. I had my lunch quite late and I had to literally have reminders and somebody remind me like, Steffi, eat. So I do share this kind of with you as well, Christina. Studying, reading from Simone and birding. Yes, I know you have these nice earrings, Simone, with birds, beautiful ones. Larissa, posting. Wow, interesting, Larissa. So posting is actually where you lose track of time. This is a very good one to have when you're an entrepreneur, for example, and you have to post. Actually, this is really good. If you love doing it, it will be so much natural for you, even to be an entrepreneur, because it will be the system, the habit of posting that will help you get clients, not just one, not just the only one, but one of them. So it's very good to identify it. Alison, directing and teaching actors, painting, writing, great. Vignes, cooking, Singaporean dishes, and organizing things. Organizing events for Alexandra. Um, uh-huh. Reading and watching true crimes. This is so good. Okay, Peter, teaching and helping others, learning new skills. So that's where you lose track of time. These are very good indicators. I want you to pay attention to them. Great. Now, mhm. Anne-Marie, oh dear, not all my loves are good for my business. This is so funny, Anne-Marie. And you said dancing, gardening, relaxing in nature, reading, movement of all kinds, physical activity. Okay, it does not have to be related to your business directly, Anne-Marie, but it may be the way you keep your balance in your life. So for me, dancing is not really helping with my business either, but when I dance, I step more into my feminine energy, into my yin energy, not yang, like doing. and I get some inspiration from there, how I can be more flowing in my business. So sometimes these things we lose track of time when we do them, help us become better in our business indirectly in a way. So I think it's good still, Anne-Marie. They don't have to be directly related to your business. Derek, practicing conversation with clients and reading. This is good. And you're very good at teaching your clients about small talk, Derek. So definitely good. And the fact that you're enjoying it, it's amazing, because imagine when your clients and students come to you and you are truly passionate about what you do. Of course, they are more um, kind of happy and willing to work with you. Or even when you go to a masseur or to a chef or to a cosmetician that they really enjoy what they do, it's much easier for us to pay them, right? And much easier for us to book another appointment with them, because you can see that they love it. So it's important to realize what you really love doing when you lose track of time. Great, that's number 3 question. We have 2 more questions. They are getting more and more difficult. I hope you're ready for the 4th one. What's important to me right now, or what was important before, and why do I value it so much? So I will give you examples. What was important for me, even when I was a teenager, maybe even a child, is to get that kind of education which is practical. For me, it was important when some teachers were telling me practical things, or even telling me things not in the lesson, but even outside of lesson that could help me with my life. That was important to me very much. And also, for me, it was very important to be paid well as a teacher later and to feel respected, that I knew I was doing a better job with the students. And very often, these questions or the answers to these questions will give you some guidance on what goals you can set. So these things that are important to you can be accomplished in a tangible way. Okay, so what is important to me right now, and what was important before, and why do I value it so much? What is it? If you know already. And to me also was important independence. So when I was teaching at school and they gave me lesson plans, which I didn't really like, and I still had to follow them, but they didn't let me adjust them to my students, I felt like I was compromising on something which was really important to me, my independence. And I realized that was one of my core values. I love to be independent at what I do. I'm not sure if I understand the question fully, okay? So basically this question is about your core values, things that are important to you, to you. So one of them, as I said, was the fact that what was really important to me is that I had independence in teaching my students. With the curriculum I chose, what I was teaching them, how I was teaching them, and even who I was teaching. I just loved that independence. So independence would be something that is important to me, or even for me, this inclusive, like inclusiveness, or like the cultural, to be culturally inclusive and socially inclusive to all people. I just remember when I was a child, that was important to me. There was a classmate in my classroom, and she was from a socially deprived background. She was really struggling to even kind of have food, and she was not in the best kind of, she didn't have the best hygiene either, and the classmates were really bullying her because she was a very easy target to be bullied. And I didn't like it. So I was actually beating all these children who were bullying her, and I became her friends, because for me it was very important that everybody in the classroom feels included. And I had this as a child. So at that time I didn't know logically like we should be inclusive to everyone. Now I know it because it's kind of, even it makes right logic. But at that time it was just so important to me that she feels she's part of this classroom. What is it for you? And this will help you as well with your goal setting, if you know what is truly important to you. So when I found out independence is important to me, then I knew full-time teaching job in a language school in London is not something I want to do, because I have almost no independence there in that situation. So I knew I had to go into the direction where I would have independence. So as a niche teacher entrepreneur, I had independence of where I wanted to live because I could teach from anywhere. I had independence in who I wanted to teach. I chose psychologists. I had independence in what kind of curriculum I created, or I had independence in how I was teaching that curriculum, what methods I had in my classroom. And this helped me, right, to go the right direction about my goal. So my goal wasn't around full-time teaching, but around niche teaching entrepreneurship. Okay, so your comments, financial independence is important to Dira. Spending time in nature for Danielle, seeing my family and friends who live far away. Due to feel balance in work and other areas of my life, being financially stable, being healthy in mind and body spirit. This is so good, Danielle. And these are your core values. These are things which are really important to you. So if you set a goal which will not be reflecting your core values, you will struggle to accomplish it. Or even if you do so, you will not feel right and good about that goal. So it's very important to pay attention to what your core values are because they will help you set up a really good goal that you will be not just set it up and leave it there, but you will take action every single day towards achieving it because you're going towards something which is so important to you that you cannot not do it, if that makes sense. So good examples here. Yes, for Sylvia, easy and enjoyable, but also be independent and so have the power to choose the topics and so run the class as I wish. Yes, I need to be prepared and on top of things. This is good examples. Um, Marian is saying, I had always wanted to be a teacher. Now, as a teacher entrepreneur, the business course helped me. Now I need to learn more about social media. So this is really good, Marian, that you find out this is important to you. And now the systems, it's easier to learn the systems when you go for something that is truly resonating with who you really are, with your core values. Um, it's it's much easier. Um, because it's not just setting goals with your ego or with just your logical mind. It's kind of connected to your true you. um yes, okay, and I can see to provide for my family from Antonio, for Simon, supporting immigrant and refugee neighbors, probably because of my mother's example helping Vietnamese refugees in the 70s. Seeing their struggles gave me a lot of respect for those who have to start over and be determined to make a better life for their families. This is so beautiful, Simon. Pauline, independence, flexibility, family, creativity, education. These are very clear. You're very clear about it, Pauline. Great. Sylvie, independence and success in my remote teaching business, mastering marketing. Feeling healthy, radiant, strong in body and mind. That's for Anne-Marie. Great. So you can see clearly what is important to you. Independence for Lisa as well. Many people say the word independence. I guess that's something many of us have in common. Great. And the very last question is for today, about this kind of core values, things which are really important to you. What of what I am doing right now or I was doing in the past is most valued by others? So what did you do in the past or you are doing now and was really valued by others? You saw, I'm really valued. I had a chat with a few of my acquaintances or friends, and they were saying like they are working as accountants and they are saying like I'm not really appreciated for my work and it's not even valued by others because they feel like they are paying too many taxes, like I didn't do a good job. And they say like I don't want to be in this job, right? So sometimes we feel like when we are not really valued for what we do, and sometimes we know that I'm really valued for what I do. So what is it for you now, or maybe was it in the past that it's not now anymore, that you're really valued by others? This is one thing, is just kind of being valued. And then maybe if you were deciding to be a niche teacher entrepreneur, I would even ask you a question: who would pay premium prices for this service or thing that you do and you are valued by others, and who would be ready to pay premium prices? But right now it's just a question: what is valued from what you do by others? I guess in my case, what is valued now, and I feel is really valued, is when I help others see more of their potential and not just see it, explore it, but kind of materialize whatever there is in their potential. And I see it's valued by others, and that's how I became a growth coach for educators. And yes, so that will be my example. So for you, it's I think animals value my approach and care, but humans, not sure. Pauline, this is so interesting. And if I can just share with everyone, so Pauline's niche is, well, she had more options, but her niche now is vets, so veterinary professionals who work actually with animals. So you see, because you feel valued by animals, or maybe even people who work with animals, we don't know just yet, it's important to you, right? And that's why we sometimes even make career choices based on this, like who values what I do. Because if we have a job where we are not valued, we may stay there for many years and not feel happy, or maybe sometimes we leave because we don't feel valued. um, so when I was a general English teacher in the private school in London, I think I was still valued by students, but not as much as I was valued when I was teaching English to psychologists, because I felt I was making more impact with a very customized curriculum. Whereas in general English classes, I was teaching general grammar, vocabulary to everyone there. So if I had to compare the value I had from a full-time job where I was doing general English teaching from my niche teaching entrepreneurship, where I was teaching specific English words, phrases, and needs that psychologists had in their English speaking therapy sessions, I felt more value there. So it's important to be aware of this. Now I can see your answers, give my clients the confidence to make them feel like achievers. Ruben, that I teach and share information is not taught in schools, and that I am genuine and authentic. I don't lie. This is so good. So many good qualities in what you mentioned. Marlene, caring for a woman in the final stage of Alzheimer's with empathy and compassion. This is good, and this is valued very much. Yes. Um, Roxana is saying, I was a police constable back in Scotland and worked with mentally ill clients. I wanted to become a detective to continue my training and impact people differently. Mm. And Christina, helping professionals gain more inner confidence speaking English through self-awareness and growth. Yes, and this is great, Christina. I remember you were mentioning this inner and outer game when you are learning mindset to your clients. So it's great that you're implementing it. Sylvie, authenticity, enthusiasm, bringing the best out of them. That's what valued. Okay, great. So thank you so much. These are 5 questions. Now we need to reflect on them, which will spend the next 3 minutes. And we finish with the exercise. And this reflection you will take to tomorrow to help you set the right goals. Okay. So the reflection will be about this. What have you realized during this exercise? Different people will realize different things. How could you integrate these insights into your current or future career? So whatever you found out, how can you integrate this into your current or future career? Okay, so this will be 2, and then I will cover the third one, not just now, the third question, but the first 2. Okay, so what have you realized, and how can you integrate these insights into your current or future career? Again, we are just planting seeds today. This is not the actual goal setting today, but this exercise is important for tomorrow. It will help you so much. So, what is it? Let me just read your comments. What insights do you have? What have you realized when you were doing these 5 questions about your career, maybe even your purpose? So, why you're doing what you're doing, the impact you're making, your situation, your circumstances. What have you realized? Alison is saying, not be afraid to bring kindness and joy onto my online teaching. That is really cool. So, this is what you have realized during this exercise. Derek, I found it very hard to answer the first question and still don't have an answer. That is okay, Derek. That is a very difficult question, to be honest. And this is just to warm us up for different things that we truly want, or maybe we would love to solve, but we don't need to know the answers. It's completely okay not to know the answer. and you will probably get the answer, maybe even throughout these 3 days, and maybe not even throughout these 3 days, but there will be some seeds planted, and you will get the answer next week or next month. And maybe the answer to that question, Derek, will be your upgrade level of your business, right? You may find out a very good offer you can offer to people to solve a problem that you may find out there is one and you want to solve. Okay, Prakash, who am I? Why am I here? What I need to do? Wow. So a lot of whys for Prakash. Julian, being holistic on life's journey through spirit, soul, and body development and growth for myself and others benefit. Yes, this is so good. So good. And I want to mention here as well, Julian. So many times when we go for worthy goals, not just for ego-based goals, but worthy goals, they include not just our own growth, but growth of people around us. So if I had a goal to become an institute entrepreneur charging $100 per hour and more, of course, it was helping me as well. I was growing, I had more money, I had more independence, but as well because I was charging more, I had more time, energy, resources, and even help from other coaches to prepare good program for my niche. And I could take even day off. I could, do different things that were not even helping me, but my clients. They got better services from me just because I was charging them more. And because of me helping the clients, psychologists who wanted to improve their English, they could help their clients better in the therapy sessions because they could speak better English with their clients. So usually when we set these good goals, as worthy goals, we help everybody else around us. So I like this word holistic. That's how I see these worthy goals. They should be holistic. Sylvie, the deep core why for doing what I do. Yes, the word authenticity come up in all 5 answers for Ina. Hmm. It's okay, Vignes, not to have answer to question 1. Manoj, self-respect, work towards your life, purpose, also value your worth. This is so important, and I will cover it tomorrow at the end or on day 3, how important it is actually to change our the way we see ourselves. So I just want to make one comment here. When I went from 1250 to 100, and actually what happened very straight away is that I was charging 30 to somebody who just approached me. And by that time, I did not change any strategy, absolutely anything. And I charged 30, which was like almost like 2.5 times more than what I was charging before. It's just because I increased my confidence in myself, my worth, my self-worth, without absolutely changing anything. I was teaching the same general English teaching. So it was interesting just how could I double without any strategy, without any smart action, just seeing my worth. So it's very important that you realize this, Manoj, or this was kind of your insight. Um, I just wanted to point it out. Christina, I'm interested in solving all major problems in the world. Great. Anne-Marie, I have realized that I need to connect with my inner child and rediscover my childhood loves and talents. Very good. Elmarie, instill enthusiasm in new knowledge, theory, and practical. Ben Ryder, that I know what I want and I'm on track. This is a beautiful one. I'm so happy for you, Ben. Honestly, so happy. I'd like to draw from my non-business passion in a way that would support my career. That's from Alena. Kenny is saying his reflection was communicator, organizer, and determined. Yes, great. To be more authentic self in my online coaching was coming from Amy. Okay, Marlene, I'm confused and I have no idea. I will have to think more about it all. And that's exactly what is day 1 about. So if I was doing all these things day 2, day 3 in one day, it would be confusion. Now you can go sleep on it. You can even, you don't need to know anything. It's just something will be already happening in you and you will be more open to tomorrow. We will do some visualization tomorrow as well to open you even more to everything you really desire. This is just to set foundation, okay? So today is the least kind of action taking for you guys. Tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, it will be like purely action taking for you to implement everything and have ready assignments or ready stuff. Great, nice. Now, yes, and Andrea, I must think through if I'm really for entrepreneurial journey. Number two, making everything more creative. This is very good. I think it's very brave to find out as well. This is not for me, or maybe I'm not very much inclined to doing it. There can be two things. So one thing can be fear. We will cover it tomorrow as well. But if it's fear, that's okay because we are meant to be afraid in a way or be scared when we think about these big worthy goals. They are not meant to be comfortable. Okay. So if it's that kind of fear, like I don't know if it's for me, then I would say let's just question this fear. Or like what is the worst thing that can happen? Or what can I lose if I don't take up this opportunity? But if it's something like I don't feel it's right for me, it's not important for me to be an entrepreneur, that's great to already know the approximate direction. I love it. Great. Now, before I'm going to invite my team members to join this workshop, and they will help you as well with their tips for goal setting and how they were dealing with their goals and goals accomplishment. I want to ask you this last question, and this is something you don't need to know exactly, just intuitive guess. What immediate action can you make today to align your professional life with your values and desires? Is there anything that comes to you? If not, don't worry. This is just for those of you who are really already tapped into that, like, okay, I found out much, and now I know this is my immediate action I need to take. For some of you, it may be just sitting down with really what you truly want. For some of you, it may be researching, like, oh, maybe I found out I want to be an entrepreneur. Let me find out, from different places, like, what do I need to do to be an entrepreneur? For some of you, it may be just maybe sending one message to somebody else because you realize something. I don't know what it is for you. This is not proper smart actions for your goal taking. This is just like, what can you do to align your professional life with your values and desires? Sadi, I need to find potential clients. Okay, great. Anybody else that you realize that this is what I need to do now? My immediate action for Anne-Marie is to write down and make a vision board of all of this. Fantastic. Anne-Marie, that's for you. For some of you, you may be just confused, and for you, maybe just to get a good sleep, or I don't know, whatever immediate action to feel like you can align a little bit more your professional life with your values and desires. Peter, stop saying yes to new low-paying clients. Wow, this is very strong. Thank you so much for this sharing. Larissa, realigned my niche client a little. Okay, great. I will be reading more. I'm just going to stop sharing now the screen so that I can see you all and I can see where my team members are because I'm going to invite them to join me now. Oh my goodness, it's so nice to see you. Now I can see you all and I can see 5 screens, kind of like there are so many people here. Wow. Thank you so much for giving 2 hours of your time today. These 2 hours of your time today will give you a lot of back. To everybody, something different, but you will get a lot of back for these 2 hours that you invested. Now, let me just, I don't know how to do it, but I would love to actually pin my team members so that they are with me on the screen. And I will ask them a few questions. Oh, yeah, Gemma is already here. Great. Let me just, no, but I want to pin more people. Just one second. Allow to multi-pin. Guys, but I pinned you. Why are you not here with me? Oh, yes. Great. Great, great, great. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Good, great. So now you are on spot. It's so nice to have you here, Gemma, James, Robbie. And how are you enjoying the workshop? Did you manage to be here the whole time? Did you see other educators' responses? How is your, how do you feel right now? You are, okay, I need to unmute you guys, right? Yeah, yeah. No, you are now. Yes. Okay, great. Yeah.
I think Robbie is muted.
Okay, let me just unmute him. Yeah, you're good now. Yeah, fantastic. Good. So what are your first impressions? How do you feel about all these insights from other educators? What they are taking away from here and what their insights are?
Yeah. So I think first of all, thank you, Steffi, for hosting the session. I don't know if you guys can hear. So actually, Steffi was not in the best in her best right now. She's been sick for over a week now. So she's been saving her voice for this workshop. I just want to thank you, Steffi, for the wonderful workshop so far. And there are 2 more days. And if you guys like this session and you've done the homework, done the exercise, make sure you join us again tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. I just want to thank you, Steffi, for being strong and delivering this session.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, and my voice is back now. Yeah, it's quite back. So I'm so happy I could speak because when we had our meetings last week, you were so nice that I didn't even have to show up on the camera. I didn't have to speak. I felt really pampered. And this was one of the, as well, of the realizations for me. I always wanted to have a team of people where I can afford to feel low and to feel sick or to whatever, that I will be helped and supported. And this is exactly what happened last week. I didn't have to, I could cancel some live events and you just stepped in, Robbie. That was really nice. And I just felt like it's so beautiful, to go for these big goals with a strong team of people. And I really wish this to everyone. This is something new to me because when I was a general English teacher and when I had my COVID, I couldn't afford to be at home. I had to, with COVID, to teach other students because I had to choose between getting better or getting paid. So I'm very grateful. I just wanted to say I'm grateful to you very much. Now, I have just a question for you because I've been speaking about goal setting and some educators as well. What is your approach to goal setting? Maybe your experience with goal setting and what goals did you have as teachers? I know Gemma and Robbie, you were teachers before as well. James, not you, but what was your experience or what has been your experience with goal setting? Anybody? Gemma, Robbie.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay, well, thank you, Steffi, by the way, for the session. I've just seen so many comments and I feel that there's a lot of clarity and just that feeling of I can do this, which I think is really amazing. So well done, Steffi. Shout out to you. But what if I thinking about goal setting? I think one thing is I always think it's helpful to reflect, and we've done that today, and reflect on your past. So maybe not necessarily just your childhood, which I think was important to do today if you're really, especially if you're stuck. But for me, I like to reflect on the year before and my previous experience. And I asked myself some questions. So for example, what was my favorite experience in the last year? And if you're new to a business, you don't have a whole year to go from, you can think about your job and the kind of people you worked with. And then I also like to think about what felt easy and what felt hard. What did I love creating or working on? And what did I enjoy putting out into the world? And I think because when I started my business, I always was saying yes to opportunities. And I think that's a good thing to do. It's like, oh, okay, new client. Yeah, let's go for it. And you say yes. But there comes a point where you have to start saying no and starting to be more focused and aligned. There's actually the biggest thing I've learned, and I'm probably still learning, one of the hardest lessons is it's not always that we need to do more, but rather we need to focus on less. So it's not that we need to do more, we need to focus on less. And I think that's the same with goal setting. It's helpful to go through the process, I believe, of coming up with all of my goals, 20 different goals for the year, but then actually narrowing them down. That was a mistake I made. Is I had 20 goals. I created all the goals for my business and for my life. And then it's okay, there's way too many. I can't have 20 goals. That's just a lot of goals to focus on. And then I realized the power of less is more when it comes to goal setting and just that alignment. So yeah, I set very specific goals. And it's okay to have that creative moment of setting of what's possible, really pushing yourself. And you said something that really struck me, Steffi, is it should scare you a little bit. Your goals, they should feel so big, whoa, okay, it's not impossible, but I know it's going to be a big challenge. And maybe even it feels kind of impossible. But that means you're kind of on the right track with your goals. And that's what you said earlier, Steffi, right? It's I really want to do this, and it's normal that you will feel wow, okay, this is a big goal. This feels very scary. And I think one thing is you start to think of the how, like, how am I supposed to do this? What am I supposed to do? Like the exact, you kind of the logical side of your brain. I know, like we had that this week. Robbie was like, okay, but how? How am I going to do this? Right? How? What are the steps? And James and Stephanie were like, sometimes it's not just, just thinking big first. The steps will come, you'll see them. So yeah, that's a few things that I wanted to share about goal setting, and that really struck me, Steffi, of what you said about thinking it should scare you a little bit. And I realized sometimes when I set these goals, they were like too small. So that's another thing.
Yeah, this is so important. Actually, one of my coaches said, like, if you have a goal, if you set a goal and that goal doesn't scare you, you're on the wrong track. You're not on the right track. Um, and since then, I've never set a goal which is not scaring me. And of course, the more you are coming closer to that goal, the less scary it feels, because the more real it feels. Like when you take action, you embody whatever you need to become to attract that goal. But it should scare you when you are setting it. So tomorrow, everybody will be scared, hopefully. If I was really relaxed faces, you're not doing the right thing. I will just challenge your goals. Thank you, Gemma. No, don't worry. Come tomorrow, please. Yeah. Come. Who resonated with what Gemma was saying about, yeah, me too, me too, me too, about being really scared, being okay with being scared when setting goals. Great. And Robbie, James, what is your experience with goal setting? Maybe. Yeah.
Sure. First of all, Steffi, amazing job. I'm really embarrassed to admit I missed the first part because I had to take some calls, but I've really been enjoying the last 30, 40 minutes and scrolling up, reading everybody's comments. It's been awesome. And also what you said about the team is totally mutual. So actually I'll share this with the group because it's just related to your point about like the importance of having a team and like being around the right people. So like last Friday, we had our team meeting in the morning with the four of us here, and like we all had certain things to get done. And I had a task, an important task to get done that day, which I agreed to do. And I very selfishly decided I really need a haircut. I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna get that haircut. I'll come back. I'll finish the task that afternoon. It will be fine. It'll be really quick. Now, this haircut took a lot longer than I expected. Now, like he really put a lot of care and effort into it, which I was very grateful of. But after when I looked at our group, I had a lot of messages. So, Robbie, did you get that thing done? Did you get it finished? And I was thinking, oh no, how am I gonna explain this? So I was like, I'll just tell the truth. Look, I'm really sorry. I went for a haircut. It took a lot longer than I thought. I'm on the way back now and I'm going to get it done. And I thought, okay, I'm going to get into a lot of trouble now. I've let everybody down. James writes to me, oh, I was meant to go for a haircut today. And then Steffi says, send me a picture. So I think that just like sums up this team. It's really cool to work with people like this, and, where we have that flexibility and trust in each other. And getting back to the topic of the goal setting, I think there are kind of 3 points that have helped me. And the first is kind of a trap to avoid. I think when it comes to setting goals, it's very easy to wait for these kind of fabricated cultural things. So right now it's January. Like, how many people set goals for the new year? December 31st. Okay, here are my goals for 2024. How many of those people right now do you think have already kind of broken their resolutions or fallen short of those goals? So I think that just shows like you don't need to wait for these like fabricated milestones. Start now. Like, you can start right now with your goals. Like, stop consuming, start creating. Don't wait for these excuses or events that don't really mean anything. So that's the first one. I guess it's like avoiding procrastination and just getting to work on it. The second is what Gemma said. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally guilty of this. Sometimes in our meetings or when we plan goals, like, instead of getting really excited and like getting in tune with the mission and like what excites me, I think, okay, but how is this possible? And I get bogged down in the logistics and the logic. And I think it's so important when you set goals to work backwards. Start with the what. Like, okay, what excites me? What's my mission? What do I want to accomplish? And then you're going to figure out the how after. You can worry about, okay, how I'm actually going to get there. Like, so be brave enough to dream big. In my case, like Steffi mentioned, like I have a teaching background. I started an online teaching business in 2020. So my goal was I want to become financially independent from schools and online companies so I can travel and so I can have my own business. And that was like the big dream. And then if to work backwards, I thought, okay, so what's the first thing I need to do right now to move me closer to that goal? And it became really clear to me, okay, I need to really understand my niche so I can create a curriculum, so I can create a program for them. So when I get my first client, they're going to be so happy and they're going to feel, wow, like that was worth way more than I paid, that they're going to leave me a really good review or a really good testimonial. And then I can use that testimonial to start attracting more people. But I wouldn't have had that clarity on like the smaller goal if I wasn't brave enough to really get clear on my big goal, which was financial independence. And then I think the last one, and like I think Gemma kind of touched on this too, but it's like be brave enough to fail. Like set those big goals and be brave enough to fail. And like there's so much inspiration and so many examples you can take from other people who like achieve their goals only after failing multiple times, or they achieve their goals much later in life. I don't know if this is a good example, but KFC.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
remember reading that like the founder of KFC, he didn't open his first KFC store until he was 62 years old. And like he had failed multiple times in business before then. And of course, like, he became a millionaire. Right. He got rich selling very unhealthy chicken, but it's besides the point. He only achieved his goal much later in life. This is a story about Julius Caesar too. I think he was 30 years old when he saw the statue of Alexander, and he thought, I have achieved nothing in my life compared to like this man who had like conquered, I don't know, like half the world in his early 20s, and he broke down in tears. And then like he spent the next 25 years becoming like the Julius Caesar we all know. So yeah, just be brave enough to fail, set big goals, and it's never too late. So yeah, there are the 3 points I think I'd
Great.
share.
Yeah,
Three things that helped
great.
me and three things I've definitely fallen short of in the past as well.
Yeah, great examples, Robbie. When you mentioned even those people who kind of failed, but they didn't fail in the end because they found out a way and thing that was actually working for them. I even know the owner of 7 Up. He did have 6 businesses that failed, and the 7 Up is called 7 Up because the seventh one went well. Um, but what you said as well, Robbie, I really like that this how. So the how is important. Of course, as you go, you need to know the how, because just if you just set a goal and you have just this fantasy, this is what I want, and you don't do anything for it, it's pointless. But you don't need
Right.
to know how when you are setting your goal. And the fun is in finding out how am I going to get there. That's the fun. That's the where the growth happens. Because if you set a goal that you know how to achieve, it's no fun. There is no growth. So if you want the same thing that you already have, you will not be growing. And the point of goals is for us to grow. So a very good point there, Robbie, about this and about failing. Actually, failing is part of growth as well, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah, and a lot of comments on Robbie's haircut, I can see. So who likes Robbie's
Thank you.
haircut?
So it was worth it. It was worth kind of
You,
letting the team
you
down
increase
because of that
engagement of this chat now because of your haircut, Robbie. So thank you so much. Now I'm going to ask James, and then after that, I'm going to share with you the bonus and the price for today, right? So the bonus will be the slides and the exercise that you can just come back to whenever in the future you want to be reconnected to your purpose. And also, after that, we will share the prize, a 30-minute feedback session with me after you answering one question, who will be the fastest, okay? After James sharing his insights and his
All right,
experience.
I'll keep it short. I'll keep it short. So I agree with everything Gemma and Robbie shared. Just want to emphasize one thing from my personal experience, because I have a scientific background. I'm very practical and logic. So I'm very good with numbers. I always do a lot of calculations and make sure it's doable, reasonable. I think that's something I try to avoid when I set goals. So at first, when I set goals, I always run the calculations. How can I make it happen? And then I've been researching and studying a lot about this, and Steffi has been helping me a lot about goals, right? Goals. So oftentimes you have a goal, and then the reason you achieve that goal is not because of you, the current you. So if you are using your current ability or skills or experience to measure or to predict how you're going to achieve that goal, that does not make sense, because when you achieve that goal, you're going to be a different person. So you cannot rely on your current way of measuring things or thinking of things to predict how you're gonna achieve that goal. So there's something really helped me understand. No, it's okay to have a goal that scares you. Oh, I don't know how to get there. Because when you get there, that person's gonna be different, right? And you need to have that goal so that you can really see yourself doing what you do, right? Seeing yourself getting that goal, and you're gonna be able to reach the infinite intelligence that help you develop plans. So you have just to have faith. No, first thing is desire, right? No, Steffi talked about desire. You need to have faith. Or I will become that. I'm already there, right? So it's something like you have to have faith this is gonna happen. I will make 6 figures. I will be able to get that. I have faith in it. And then this is gonna happen. This is already happening, right? Then you will get supported by a mastermind, by the infinite intelligence, somebody somewhere gonna give you the plan. You have to just trust that. So that's something I want to share just for those of you who always being practical, who always limit yourself because you don't see it, just make goals that scares you.
Wow, this was so concise and so much to the point, James. Very well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
A few things here. James mentioned faith. That's one of the 4 components. I will mention 2 more needed for survival of your goal or your goal being accomplished. I will deal with it more even tomorrow. And there was one more thing that I wanted to mention actually, what James was saying, and Simone was saying that as well, that she talks to her future self. So that's something that I know, Simone, you're doing. I was doing it as well when I was an teacher entrepreneur and I had opportunities. I was asking, what would Steffi with her worthy goal do right now? Would she take this lesson or this client if she wasn't sure about like this client, or wouldn't she? And then I got answers, no, I didn't. Or what would she do in this case? How would she present herself right now? How would she make this video if she was already having her worthy goal? So these are very good questions. Yes, James, thank you, and Simon as well. So what we are going to do now, we are open to Q&A, and I'm going to ask more questions to Gemma and Robbie, but we will be finishing very soon now. So how are you enjoying this workshop so far, and who will come tomorrow? Say, I'm here tomorrow. I'll come. Who will come tomorrow? And I will share the prize now with you in a moment, but I want to know who will be here tomorrow. Okay, I'll be here. There will be people here. Fantastic. Great. One thing I don't know if we emphasized enough in the emails before, but it's very important for you to, if you can even attend, to watch the recording and do this in this sequence. So day 1, day 2, day 3, because I kind of like put them in a logical order as well for you to really have that goal and then set actions or plan actions for that goal. So it's important to do it in order. Even if you can't attend tomorrow, watch the recording and then come to day 3 after you watch the recording. Okay, great. Now, and feel free to ask any questions now to Gemma, Robbie, James, me, or to anybody else. While I'm going to share with you actually the day show up bonus for day 1. So it's the slides from today and also the exercise that is going to guide you how you can in the future find out if your goals are actually coming from your core desires and your purpose. So I'm just sharing this with you in the chat box. This is just one prize or bonus just because you came here and you stayed till the end. So I just share it with you. Hopefully you can see it. You can see it, yes, Sandra, great. And now the second one. So the winner will be the person who will write it the fastest. And now Robbie, Gemma, James, help me to see who is there so that we can see it, the name of the person. But I'm going to share the question on the screen. Okay, so be prepared. The question is from today. And if you paid attention, you should know the answer. Now it sounds like in school. Okay, let me just share my screen.
You want to do a countdown?
Yes, yes. So you mean like me, just to say it, or do you have something
Count
on the
down like
screen?
3, 2, 1, then just share
Okay,
that.
yeah, but let me just share the screen and then we can do the
Okay.
1 second. So everybody's ready for this. You will need to write it down very fast, so please be ready. Okay. So 1 second. Okay. Oh, what is not? Okay. Yes. So again, just to remind you, the prize is the personalized 30-minute feedback session with me. I will share the link with you, with the winner, not with everyone. And the winner is the person who answers the question the fastest. Okay, so what is the question? Now, the question is 3, 2, 1. What is the name of the individual in the picture I showed you while explaining the concept of purpose?
All right. Okay.
Okay, great. So, who was the first one, guys? Who was the first guys?
Didn't we
I
say
so Ben Ryder has a last name, but I don't know what it has to be a full name, right?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so there are two people. There is Ben and then Marlene. She put the full name. Yes, I think I wasn't. What was the name? Okay. So what do we do here?
Oh,
So
what's the full name? Is it Emily or Ameline? Emily.
Milan?
Ask
Emmeline.
Google. Ask Google.
Ameline. Yeah, I think it should go to Marlene because Ben Ryder cheated. He left. He only gave us the last name. That was
Yeah.
faster. That's the
Okay.
last
Okay,
name.
good. So what I'm going to do when I have a session with Ben next time, I'm going to give him 15 minutes more of my time.
Okay,
Just
okay.
because
That's fair. That's
I'm
fair.
going to do that, Ben. So we will have 1 hour and 15 minutes in our next coaching session. And Marlene is the winner, actually. Yes. Emmeline Pankhurst. But look at all you guys. You got it. You got it. Yes, great. Give it to Ben. Peter saying, give it to Ben. Derek, Marlin wins. Okay. So both of them won in a way. Okay. So Ben will get 15 minutes extra with me and Marlin gets a 30-minute session with him. Marlin, I will send it to you just after this session. Okay. If you, yeah, I will find your email somehow. Yeah, I will find you. Or you can even, if I don't find you, just contact us at support@bowistrategy.com. And congratulations. Great. There will be question like that tomorrow as well. Another 30-minute session with me and Amazon voucher of worth $10. Okay. So the question for you, and then you can have questions for us as well. What are your key takeaways from day one? Everybody will have different key takeaways, but we are just wondering what they are. I would love you to share it here in the chat box. But at the same time, if you can, that would be even better to share it on your social media, in our Teacher Entrepreneur Network or on LinkedIn, in our group there, so that other people can learn as well and maybe be inspired to come today too. Okay, so what are your key takeaways? And you can use this hashtag to share it with everybody else. Okay, great. Great. And now your questions and key takeaways. So key takeaways, and if you have any other questions as well, let me just stop sharing. And I can share the hashtags with you as well. If you want to share it on your social media, that will be great. Okay, so let me just read these key takeaways, or you can read it as well, guys, Robbie, Gemma, so that I can save some of my voice for tomorrow. If you
Yeah,
don't
you
mind.
guys, we're gonna read it just very quickly. I know some of you gonna leave. Just wanted to talk to you guys about our affiliate, our referral program. I know probably some of you have already registered. If you haven't, I would love you guys to help us kind of promote this free workshop we do every month, with your educator and teacher friends and colleagues. So our goal, so this is one of the goals we set, right? Our goal is to reach and empower 100,000 educators and teachers this year. So we'll need your help to help us with that. So I'm gonna share a link with you guys in the chat. You just need to go there and register. And then there's a video. Once you register, you're gonna see a video to show you how to do it. Very, very simple. We already created the post for you. We already created the message for you. You just need to click, and then it will show up on our social media, or you can send an email to your friends. Anyone that you feel like they can benefit from a workshops like this, today's, or the one we did last month, the passive income. I'm gonna do one workshop every single month this year to reach 100,000 teachers and educators. And I really appreciate that you can help us. Okay, that's number one. Number two, very quickly, last week or 2 weeks ago, we also launched a homepage for our events to organize everything. So I want to share that link with you guys. Bookmark that homepage, because we update that page every month with all the events we're gonna run that month, so you don't get lost. You will see all the events we run at the month, and you can just there's links for you to go, so you wouldn't miss any of these sessions we run in the future. Okay, so these are two things. One, the referral program. If you haven't joined the referral program, please join it and help us reach more teachers. And the second one is the event homepage. Make sure you bookmark that homepage and you can check it every month, so you see all the events, all the live sessions, workshops we run at that month with the links you can easily go to. So we made it very simple for you guys to not miss any of the sessions we're gonna run. All right, so just very quick about that, and maybe Gemma or Robbie, you guys want to read some of the takeaways?
I will just read one question and then you can take it
Okay,
over, because it was
sure.
actually a question for Robbie and Gemma. And James, what are your scary goals? This is what actually David asked, and then you can take it over.
It's a
Yeah.
good question, right? So exactly what James just said a few weeks ago, we sat down together and we said we're going to make our goal for this year to reach 100,000 teachers so they can have more impact or more income in their careers. And yeah, to being like totally honest, it does scare me a little bit because it's so big and it's so ambitious. But you know, going back to what we talked about, all right, be brave enough to fail. Okay, let's say December 31st, 2024, and we haven't hit 100,000 teachers. Well, the four of us, we can sit down together and we can analyze and we can say, okay, why? Why do you think we fell short of this goal? What do we learn from this? And how can like these lessons propel us forward in 2025? And that's a win. And in terms of the fear, like just a week or two ago, I sat down and looked at my LinkedIn and I was like, I'm going to put that goal on my LinkedIn. And that did scare me just because it's so big. But yeah, you know, it's a win-win. You know, we reach it, amazing. We don't reach it, we learn. Someone in the chat said fail forward. And yeah, so that would be it for me.
Yep, just a reminder for everyone. Yes, this is our goal for 2024. And we want it to help really educators make more impact and income by pursuing their purpose-aligned goals. And now we know many of you are already kind of direction towards your goals, what they are. Tomorrow they will be very, very specific. And we would love to help many educators, and at least 100K of them, right? To have this pleasure of enjoying greater impact. Thank you, Robbie. That was very well said. Gemma, James, we have the same, right? Scary goal for our for our business. Yeah. And if you can take it over now and just read other takeaways, that would be great.
Okay, let me go back. And also just to add to, we have the same goal, and I think that's also really powerful, that we're all like, it's really cool to be working on that goal. I just wanted to, you know, it's really cool that we're all doing that and we're all in it together. Someone said, why not 1 million? Why not 1 million teachers? Maybe that will be 2025 goal. Yeah. Okay, let me see, going back to let's go back to some of the comments that people had. And if you have any questions for us, oh, I like that. I see the blacktop memo was passed to everyone. Yeah, we usually do that. We all have it.
I think you guys are all copying me now. I've been doing this for
Just
years.
copying Robbie. He's always in a
Finally
blacktop.
catching on. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, going all the way back, there's lots of comments here. Someone said, Sylvia said, I see I am more valued when I teach to professionals because they can see the transformation I am bringing. Whilst just general young students, they see studying English as an obligation in somehow. Yeah. I think Steffi mentioned a little bit about that, of your students and the difference of when you were teaching like niche teachers. And I guess it's like the impact you can really have on people's lives. I know that for me was also something that was really important. And for me, I wanted, I created a course for another company. And the big reason why I wasn't really satisfied is I realized my goal, I like to see the impact I was having, to know that it was actually making a difference. And it was like, am I creating this for nothing? Like, what's the point? Is this really helping someone? So I can relate to that as well, of what you were saying about being able to have even bigger impact. I know that's a goal that I see some people here have. Maria said, inspiring others, helping with communication and understanding and connecting with others, getting things done and supporting them. Let's see.
Anybody else, what your key takeaways are?
Key takeaways.
Someone saw a good comment in the chat there. Someone asked, like, should the big goal always be business related? And I think, nah, I've made that mistake before. I think it should be purpose related. So, okay, what's your mission? Because the reality is you're probably going to be more excited at the prospect of like reaching people or helping people or impacting people than just like a particular financial figure. And in my experience, like the better you become at helping people, like the money kind of comes then as a result of that. So like I remember early on, I set a monthly financial target. Okay, if I like hit this target in a month independently, like that's my goal. And it felt a little bit empty, like, when I got it. And then it's like, okay, well, what really excites me? What am I passionate about? And then like reconnecting with that. And I feel like that kind of can spur you on then in those difficult moments. You can derive motivation from that. I'm not saying like, of course, money is important and it's okay to have these financial goals, of course, and no one should feel guilty about that. But I think like purpose driven goals, or if you have a mission, I think that's the best way to set your big goal.
Yep. So true here. And I can see more comments from
I have one
people.
from Simone.
Yes.
I feel in alignment, which gives me peace and confidence. I should remain authentic and curious. As always, you give great reflective guidance. Yeah, I agree with that. I had that takeaway as well. I had that reflection of like really feeling peaceful with the goals, and that it's just that, I guess, quiet confidence. Like, it is achievable. It is scary. And yet remaining curious is, and I guess it's one thing is being open. I think being like 90% following your goals, but also having that 10% for the magic. I don't know what you think about that, Steffi, but like,
I even feel like 50% is magic. Like that, I will
okay,
cover it tomorrow.
okay.
I will cover it tomorrow.
We'll see it tomorrow. Yeah,
So
another
one thing
reason to
is,
come home.
Picasso was painting twice. That's what he said. He was painting twice. The first time it was in his mind, and the second time it was with a brush, right? So the first time in his mind, he had a picture what he wanted to paint. And I think it was probably, I don't know how clear it was. But then when he was painting, some of these pictures he painted were maybe identical. Some of them were quite, not completely different, but quite different, which means that's why I don't even call it goal achievement, but it's goal creation. We are creating that goal as we go. So it's our best intuitive guess what that picture is for us. We have this snapshot of the ideal picture we want to build to, or like goal we want to have. But then as we go towards it, some things become less important, more important. So we are co-creating. So I feel like 50% it's in our hands in a way what you do with those actions, with the milestones. But then there is this space for magic universe, whatever you want to call it, that you are not creating that goal by yourself. So I would even say 50%, I don't know this percentage, Gemma, which is the right one. But yeah, it's definitely not like 100% I can achieve everything I said in this exact way. In my case, even one of my goals, which was soul-based, turned into an ego-based goal, which I had. So that was interesting to observe. Like it was the soul-based goals to start with, but then as I was pursuing it, I wanted to prove to everyone I can do it. And then it turned to be like ego-based. It was not even kind of like making me feel right. And so yeah, and I didn't let the magic happening there. And then when I realized it, I let it go. It's okay. Like you don't have to achieve the goal if it's not, aligned with your core values and what you really want. But yeah, that's a good point, Gemma.
Elisa said something about what Robbie mentioned, and I think like how attached you are to your goals I think you can, and I guess Robbie was saying earlier about, time of year, it's January, you're setting resolutions, and very quickly people will, they will break that habit and then they lose them very quickly and they don't keep going back to their goals. And I think, Steffi, that's something you're going to cover, right? Is how to really continue with these goals. You set them, but how do you establish them and implement them? And Ilse said a great point, Robbie. It's similar to the sports clubs. They're overcrowded in January, and in February, all the usual old faces are there. Others are gone until next January. And she said she's observed that for many years in her sports club. So it's like sticking to your goals, right?
But yeah, I think it just emphasizes the point. Like you don't need to wait around for a certain time of year or like a new beginning to set these goals. Like you can do it right now. And hey, if you get it, great. And if you fail, fine. Don't be too hard on yourself. Pull out the lessons and keep going. And yeah, you can take so much inspiration from so many people who failed set big goals and failed multiple times before they hit them. And there's never any shame in that. So don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And again, the fun is in finding out how you are going to get there. And that's where, your efforts as well, the magic expertise you have, the people you include in the process. So a lot of things are happening. If we are going to go for goals, we know how to achieve. So let's say when I was a teacher and I was teaching English and I was charging 1,000, pounds per month. And if I set a goal, okay, this year my goal is to make 1,000 per month, every month, and let's say teach general English students. That would be not a good goal because I've already achieved it many months, so I don't have to set it as a goal, and there will be no growth involved. Now, another goal would be I would love to earn 1,500. That's my goal, right? Let's say if it is about financial goals, that would be okay, good, but still not big enough for me to grow to get to this 1,500 and let's say just help a few more students with my classes, let's say have group classes or whatever. But then I set a goal, which was 30,000 for my lifestyle. But I set a goal, I want to have 100 mental health professionals win their English. And I would be charging them $100, right? So that was a scary one, very scary. And I had no idea how to achieve it. But the fact how I have been coming closer and closer, I became a different person. I grew so much. So that's different person actually. It was me, but just upgraded kind of me that achieved that goal. So like if I was thinking as Steffi at that time who set the goal all the time, there is no way I would get there. There was a lot of transformation on the way. So yeah, about again scary goals and we grow as we set those goals. Yep. Do we have any other comments? Actually, Ilse asked a question. I have a question to all of you. What is the one thing you would do differently today as if talking to your current self, looking 2 or 3 years ago? Okay, when you were developing your business.
Wow.
So who would like to answer this question? James, maybe? What is one
Few
much
years
different?
ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we made a lot of mistakes. I personally made a lot of mistakes, but I always forgive myself for making these mistakes. I just feel like if I hadn't made that mistakes, I wouldn't have been here anyway. So, we wasted a lot of money. Now, for example, we tried to pay advertising, was really heavy on that. It didn't get us, um, the kind of the results we wanted, but I learned a lot from it. So I guess, the only thing I wanted to tell myself, 3 years ago, um, I just wanted to tell myself that maybe move faster. So, um, it's because, when the business grows, sometimes you get to a place very comfortable. Very comfortable. If you like, I'm paying my bills, I'm getting the money I wanted, I'm making progress. And when you get comfortable, then you feel less motivated, and then you just feel like at that time, during the time I felt very comfortable, and I was not as energetic, as motivated as I am right now. So I feel like that's something I want to tell myself 2 to 3 years ago. It's like don't feel comfortable with anything because when you feel comfortable, actually you are falling behind. So that's really the case here is that it's not gonna be something like you just all set, you know. You have always you need to like always improve. I was very comfortable at the time that we are running 21 challenge, we're getting pretty good results, so we're getting people in the inner circle. It's like everything just running very smoothly. And then I stopped innovating. I stopped innovating our training. I stopped getting out there, learning what's happening. And then until we hit a kind of we had a setback, something not working anymore. Then it pushed me to go again. I think I just have to keep reminding myself and the team, no, so we're not gonna stop, and we shouldn't feel comfortable at any time. Just have to focus on the goals. I think that's why the goal setting is so important. Have goals. Some of the goals that scares you, right? So I have to get there. Right? I have to get there and then connect yourself with your goals. Every day you wake up, you read your goals loud and repeat. Remind yourself, this is my goal. I shouldn't be careful. I shouldn't be comfortable. Our goal is to reach 100,000 teachers, educators this year. Where are we now? Oh my God, I need to work. I need to do something, right? So I think that using the goal to remind you, that's what I want to tell myself. I and I think we were comfortable was because we didn't have a clear goal at the time.
Mm.
Yeah.
So goals help you grow and be more radiant and energetic
Yeah,
about
yeah,
doing things.
exactly.
So true. So Ilse is just summarizing it. If you are comfortable, you are falling behind. Yes,
It
Yeah.
is. It is. If
pretty
you're
much.
comfortable, then after a few months, then if you get out of your small box, you feel, oh my God, everyone's getting better than me and I'm falling behind, right?
Mm.
And usually you wouldn't know you're falling behind until something happens, something bad happens in your business. You know what I mean? So you have to really make sure you are growing, you have a good goal to grow. It's not like you're gonna work harder and harder. It's like just have the consistency, be do what you're supposed to do every day,
Mm.
and follow the goal and connect with your goals.
Yeah. I love that takeaway. I really like that question because I often think if I could go back in time, like 3, 4 years, but I know what I know now, like how much more quickly I could move forward. But then when you think about it, like the only reason I know what I know now is because I took action and I made mistakes and I failed a lot, but I learned a lot. So, like, if what I would do differently, I'd say be even braver, take even more action, make even more mistakes, and yeah, fail more often and fail faster because that's how I learned. How I learned. That's the only reason I know what I know now. So, if
Mm.
I could send myself a memo 4 years ago, just be brave, don't give a what anyone else thinks, and just go for it.
Yes, so true. Like, yeah, you learn on the way. Um, what you know right now, and that's why you are who you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be this way. And
Right.
when you were saying that, actually, when I was reflecting on my journey, there are quite a few things I would have done differently, but I'm happy I didn't because I can understand all the teachers much better. So when I became a niche teacher entrepreneur, I still had a full-time job for 1 year and a half, whereas many of my fellow teacher entrepreneurs were quitting their full-time jobs, just having this entrepreneurship. And I had this for 1 year and a half. And maybe I was thinking, okay, I would love to make it faster if I could again. But now thinking about it, not really, because I can understand all the teachers kind of this fear of not letting the security behind you, like sticking to security as long as you have enough confidence. And I guess maybe I needed 1 year and a half to build that confidence in myself that I can independently earn money every month and replace my full-time job. And now I can understand all the teachers better. If probably I shifted too soon, maybe I wouldn't be that empathetic to many teachers when they feel like I don't want to be entrepreneur because I have this safety for my income, and that's important to me. And I was there, so I understand. Another thing, which I feel like I could have done differently, but I'm happy I didn't, is I would have hired a virtual assistant so much faster. So I was doing for 1 year and a half, or maybe even 2 years, 1 year and a half, everything by myself. I was sending messages, I was editing almost videos, all sort of things you need to do as an entrepreneur. And I was doing it um, it was taking me a lot of time. I was working a lot of hours. Okay. But at the same time, I learned how to do things so much fast that I developed very good systems and habits. And now I'm teaching and we are training teachers, teacher entrepreneurs with these habits and systems, which I developed just because I was doing everything by myself. And I knew I had 1 hour in my day to complete all this marketing and whatever task we need to complete. How can I do it in 1 hour? That was the only time I had in my schedule. And so am I regretting it? Not really. I came up with some systems and habits for teacher entrepreneurs, but at the same time, I did work long hours. So okay, you can regret that. I didn't have work and life balance for 1 year and a half, pretty much. The only thing when I was cycling to work and back, that was my me time. Yes, I don't know, Gemma, is there anything for you that
And I think
you?
I think how Robbie summed it up is exactly what same for me. Sorry to copy what Robbie said, but really, really, I think I had to go through that experience. But yes, I think to be brave and to do things faster. And that's something we actually spoke about this week, like last week, actually, in one of our live sessions of showing up online. I think it's like, go for it, just do it. Like, don't be afraid to put your face out there, and you will, and be okay with making mistakes. And I guess one thing is not seeing them as mistakes, but it's data, it's information, it's just information. And that connection I had of like emotional connection of, oh no, I didn't do this right, oh, I must be a failure, and like spiraling a little bit. So just really connecting it as this is information, and this information is going to help me. Just the same as like seeing it like science in some ways. If I was going to do a science experiment, I don't expect to be perfect with that science experiment the first time. You do hundreds of different science experiments, and then finally you get there, but you learn from each piece of information. So I guess there's a bit of a mindset shift that I had. Now I know I had to go through that to learn that, but I think knowing that information of like, it's not really a mistake, it's information. Yeah, that's
Like Robbie summarized the data, not mistakes. Yes, exactly.
yeah.
You analyze that and you want to make it better. So one thing as well, we will be learning that actually together on day 3 is that some people feel like, okay, I will set a goal and these are the habits or systems I figure out I need to do to get there. But sometimes those systems will not work the whole way to get you there. Maybe they will just help you with the first milestone, with the first project. So we always have to assess the habits, the actions we are taking, not the goal. We can assess the goal as well, but we don't change the goal just because we are not achieving it. But a lot of things, or maybe even mistakes we make, as Gemma said, these are data for us. So we know what can we do better. Maybe if this strategy doesn't work, now how can I get there through different way? If messaging people doesn't work, should I make posts? Should I go live? Should I go contact schools and companies, or what should I do? So there are many ways how we can get there. So that's why many people sometimes feel like, oh, I have to follow the same thing until I reach the goal. Well, if that thing is not working, no, you need to analyze and change it. So yeah, that's important as well. Mistakes is data, exactly, of what is not working. So let's figure out what is working actually. Love that. And Ilse, I know this is your goal, 3-month goal, have a virtual assistant by the end of April. So I hope this was kind of the reminder for you, like it's really serious. I don't think you need to figure out new habits or so, but it's really helpful to have a virtual assistant. And I figured that out for those of you who are entrepreneurs or who want to be entrepreneurs. When you have somebody else who is helping you with things that need to be done, but not necessarily by you, you have better energy and time and space to do what you are good at, coaching, teaching. And that was something I realized, when I realized that, when one of my client psychologists told me in our session, Steffi, you look tired. We were starting our English session. And I said, yes, I am. I was not lying. And then she spent 15 minutes of her time, which was supposed to be her time, to kind of give me psychological help with feeling less overwhelmed and tired. And then I could teach her English. And I felt so bad in that session. Honestly, I said, like, I never want to repeat that session again. I need to take care of myself. I need to have a team of people who are going to help me with things which need to be done, but not by me, so that I can serve people in the English lessons or coaching lessons that I was having. And that was just, like how I figure out, like, if I want to get to my goal, I cannot go there by myself only, do everything by myself. I need a team of people. And VA was, yeah, my next step after that. Yeah. More comments. Failure is on the far side of success from Jason. Yes, it really is a mindset. How we view failure is key to success. Yes. And failure can be viewed as stepping stones, learning from such mistakes or allowing those mistakes to prevent you from taking further action, thus becoming afraid. Mindset, mindset, mindset. Oh, yeah.
Such a good comment, such a good
Yes.
song. Yeah.
Great. Any other questions or key takeaways before we finish this workshop? And again, just a reminder, tomorrow you are going to have 1, 2, 3 goals. Each single one of you who is willing to be open to this. Of course, I cannot force you if you're not open to it. If you are, you will have 1, 2, 3 goals for tomorrow ready that are coming from your heart, something that you really desire. That will be tomorrow. And I will guide you in a visualization. So it will be a really good process of you defining those goals. And then on day 3, we will be finding out what the actions I need to take and who do I need to become to achieve that goal. So that's what is for you tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Yeah,
And
James?
a quick reminder, the prize for tomorrow, there's another prize for tomorrow. So there's gonna be one lucky winner. They're gonna receive the 30-minute session with Steffi and $10. Is that $10?
$10.
Amazon voucher. So we're making it even better than today. So lucky winner tomorrow. Okay, just so you guys know, join us live and be here, do the exercise. That's how you can get the most out of the session. I think Kat raised her hand, right? Kat, you have a
Katya,
question?
did you, Katya? Okay, I didn't see that, dear Katya. So what is your question, Katya?
Or even me.
Any,
No,
any?
I just said you just all said who wants to have 3 goals for tomorrow.